Behind the Bars, a journey into America's haunted prisons. The corridors of America's most notorious prisons echo with more than just the clang of iron bars and the distant murmur of whispered conversations. These imposing structures, once bastions of law and order, now stand as grim monuments to a darker chapter in history, a chapter steeped in suffering, despair, and untimely death. For decades, these penitentiaries housed society's outcasts, where countless lives were confined within their cold, unforgiving walls. Yet, long after the last inmate was released or executed, many of these institutions have become synonymous with something far more sinister: the supernatural. They are places where the past refuses to remain buried, where the spirits of those who endured unimaginable horrors continue to linger, restless and unrelenting. To step inside one of these haunted prisons is to enter a realm where time seems to warp and reality blurs. The air is heavy with an oppressive energy, as though the very walls absorb the anguish of those who suffered within them. Shadows flit across empty corridors, disembodied voices whisper secrets in languages forgotten by the living, and unseen hands tug at your clothing or brush against your skin. These phenomena are not mere figments of overactive imaginations. They are documented, witnessed, and experienced by countless visitors, investigators, and even former staff members. Each prison carries its own unique brand of terror, shaped by the atrocities committed within its confines: executions gone awry, violent riots, brutal punishments, and suicides that left behind lingering echoes of pain. This article invites you on a chilling journey through some of the most haunted prisons in America, delving deep into their harrowing histories and uncovering the spectral stories that haunt their halls. From the blood-soaked cells of Eastern State Penitentiary to the eerie isolation chambers of Alcatraz, we will peel back the layers of myth and memory to reveal the truth behind these infamous institutions. Through meticulous research and first-hand accounts, we aim to transport you beyond the veil of daylight, immersing you in the shadowy world where the living meet the dead. Whether you're a skeptic seeking thrills or a believer in the paranormal, prepare to confront the ghosts of the incarcerated, whose cries for justice, or vengeance, still reverberate through the annals of American history. As storytellers, our mission is simple yet profound: to breathe life into these haunted places, crafting an experience akin to wandering their corridors yourself. We'll guide you through the labyrinthine depths of fear, where every corner holds the promise of discovery and danger. So steel your nerves and ready your senses, for what lies ahead is not merely a collection of ghost stories, but a visceral exploration of humanity's capacity for both cruelty and resilience. Welcome to the heart of darkness within America's most haunted prisons. An odyssey into the unseen awaits. Shadows of Solitude, the haunting legacy of Eastern State Penitentiary. Nestled in the heart of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, stands the foreboding silhouette of Eastern State Penitentiary, a fortress-like structure that has earned its place among America's most haunted sites. Built in 1829 under the visionary yet controversial principles of Quaker reformers, this penitentiary was designed to inspire penance and rehabilitation through solitary confinement, a concept that ultimately descended into psychological torment. Its imposing Gothic architecture, complete with towering stone walls and narrow, skyward windows, was intended to evoke a cathedral-like atmosphere of reflection. However, the reality of life within its walls proved anything but divine. Instead, it became a crucible of despair, where thousands of inmates were subjected to isolation so extreme that it drove many to madness, suicide, or death. The historical backdrop of Eastern State Penitentiary is rife with tragedy and controversy. At its peak, the prison housed over 1,700 inmates, each confined to a single cell equipped with only a small skylight, referred to as the Eye of God. The strict enforcement of solitary confinement meant prisoners could neither see nor speak to one another, creating an environment devoid of human connection. This radical approach to punishment quickly garnered criticism from reformers and medical professionals alike, who argued that prolonged isolation inflicted severe mental and physical harm. Notorious figures such as Al Capone and bank robber Willie Sutton walked its halls, adding to its infamous reputation. Yet, it was the countless unnamed souls, the forgotten men and women whose identities faded into obscurity, that truly defined the prison's legacy of suffering. Today, Eastern State Penitentiary is widely regarded as one of the most haunted locations in the United States, drawing paranormal investigators, tourists, and thrill seekers from around the globe. Visitors often recount spine-chilling encounters that defy rational explanation, suggesting the presence of tormented spirits unable, or unwilling, to leave. Among the most frequently reported phenomena are sightings of shadowy figures pacing the crumbling corridors. Witnesses describe seeing apparitions clad in tattered prison uniforms, their faces etched with anguish, vanishing into thin air when approached. Others claim to hear the faint sound of footsteps echoing through empty hallways, accompanied by disembodied whispers that seem to emanate from nowhere. These auditory hallucinations are often described as desperate pleas for help or anguished cries, transporting visitors back to a time when the prison teemed with life and death. One particularly chilling account involves Cell Block 12, a section notorious for housing inmates who succumb to the psychological strain of solitary confinement. Tour guides recount stories of visitors feeling an inexplicable sense of dread upon entering the block, as if an unseen force presses down on them. Thermal imaging cameras have detected sudden drops in temperature in specific cells, despite the absence of drafts or other natural causes. In some instances, individuals report being touched by invisible hands or pushed forcefully against the walls, leaving bruises that appear without logical explanation. Such occurrences are attributed to the restless spirits of those who met tragic ends within the penitentiary, their anguish manifesting as tangible forces that interact with the living. Paranormal investigators have captured compelling evidence during overnight expeditions into Eastern State's labyrinthine depths. EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. Recordings frequently pick up fragmented sentences spoken in voices too distorted to identify, while motion detectors trigger alarms in areas known to be vacant. One investigator claimed to capture footage of a translucent figure standing in a cell doorway, its form flickering like static before disappearing entirely. Another team reported witnessing a glowing orb hovering near the infirmary, a room historically associated with botched medical procedures and unexplained deaths. These findings lend credence to the belief that Eastern State Penitentiary is not merely a relic of the past but an active conduit for supernatural activity. The haunting of Eastern State Penitentiary transcends mere ghost stories. It serves as a sobering reminder of the consequences of systemic neglect and dehumanization. Each spectral encounter underscores the enduring impact of policies that prioritized punishment over rehabilitation, leaving scars that transcend generations. As dusk settles over Philadelphia, casting long shadows across the decaying structure, one cannot help but wonder whether the spirits seek redemption, closure, or simply acknowledgement of the horrors they endured. In exploring the haunted corridors of Eastern State Penitentiary, we peel back the layers of time to confront the ghostly remnants of a bygone era, forever etched into the very fabric of this forsaken institution. The tormented halls of Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. Perched on a windswept island in San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary stands as a stark testament to America's most hardened criminals and their incarcerations. Opened in 1934, this formidable fortress was designed to hold the nation's most dangerous offenders, including notorious gangsters like Al Capone and George "Machine Gun" Kelly. The prison's remote location and rigorous security measures promised escape-proof incarceration, earning it the moniker, "The Rock." Yet beneath its austere exterior lay a breeding ground for despair and violence, giving rise to countless tales of hauntings that continue to chill visitors to this day. Alcatraz operated under stringent rules that enforced silence and solitude, aiming to break the spirits of its inmates. The constant surveillance, minimal human contact, and harsh conditions led many prisoners to suffer severe psychological distress. Beatings and solitary confinements were routine, further exacerbating the mental turmoil of the incarcerated. It was within these oppressive confines that numerous inmates met their demise, either through execution, murder, or suicide, fueling the legends of spectral presences that roamed the prison's corridors. Visitors to Alcatraz report a myriad of unsettling experiences that defy logical explanation. Apparitions of former prisoners have been sighted wandering the cell blocks, their forms clad in outdated uniforms, exuding an aura of melancholy. Witnesses describe sudden drops in temperature, accompanied by an overwhelming sense of dread, particularly in areas known for violent incidents or executions. The sounds of clanging metal and distant screams echo through the halls, audible reminders of the suffering endured within these walls. Moreover, specific locations within Alcatraz are hotspots for supernatural occurrences. Cell 14D, infamous for its role in several prisoner suicides, is often cited as one of the most haunted spots. Tourists recount feelings of being watched or touched by unseen hands while standing in this cell. EVP recordings captured here frequently contain voices pleading for release or muttering incoherently, believed to be the trapped souls of those who took their own lives. Similarly, the prison's hospital wing, where many died under mysterious circumstances, is said to host frequent ghostly visitations, with apparitions appearing briefly before dissolving into the ether. The haunting of Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary serves as a chilling reminder of the island's turbulent past. Each spectral encounter not only adds to the legend of the prison but also underscores the enduring impact of its brutal regime. As night falls over San Francisco Bay, casting eerie shadows across the penitentiary, one can't help but wonder if the spirits seek justice, closure, or merely acknowledgement of the horrors they endured. In exploring the haunted corridors of Alcatraz, we peel back the veils of history to confront the ghostly remnants of a bygone era, forever etched into the very fabric of this desolate rock. The haunting depths of Ohio State Reformatory in the heart of Mansfield, Ohio, looms the colossal structure of the Ohio State Reformatory, a place where the echoes of despair and brutality resonate through its aged stone walls. Established in 1896, this reformatory was initially designed to rehabilitate young offenders, offering them a chance at redemption through education and labor. However, the noble intentions quickly deteriorated into a nightmare of overcrowding, violence, and death. The reformatory's sprawling architecture, reminiscent of a medieval castle, houses a dark history of torture and executions that have cemented its status as a hotspot for paranormal activity. The most notorious aspect of the Ohio State Reformatory is its extensive record of hangings and electric chair executions. Over its operational years, hundreds of inmates met their end within the reformatory's confines, many under questionable circumstances. The gallows, located in the basement, and the electric chair, ominously named Old Sparky, bear witness to these final moments of life. Stories abound of botched executions where inmates suffered prolonged agony, their cries for mercy lost in the dingy air of the execution chamber. These tragic events have imbued the site with a palpable sense of dread, making it a magnet for those intrigued by the supernatural. Today, the Ohio State Reformatory stands as a beacon for paranormal enthusiasts and thrill-seekers. Nighttime tours offer a chilling glimpse into the reformatory's haunted past, with numerous reports of spectral sightings and eerie sensations. Visitors frequently recount the unnerving experience of being followed by invisible entities while traversing the dimly lit corridors. The showers, once a place of routine but now shrouded in mystery, are often cited as a focal point of paranormal activity. Cold spots abound, and disembodied whispers fill the air, sending chills down the spines of even the most skeptical visitors. Among the most harrowing accounts is that of the warden's quarters, where the spirit of a former warden's wife is said to reside. She reportedly fell to her death from a balcony, and her ghost is often seen peering down mournfully from the same spot. Her presence is accompanied by the scent of roses, a poignant reminder of her tragic fate. Moreover, the solitary confinement cells present their own brand of horror. Many recount feelings of claustrophobia and panic, induced inexplicably as they stand in these cramped spaces, echoing the despair felt by the inmates who once occupied them. Audio recordings captured within the reformatory provide further evidence of its haunted nature. EVP sessions have picked up startling phrases, ranging from desperate pleas for help to angry shouts seemingly directed at intruders. The most chilling of these recordings include the distinct sound of a woman sobbing, believed to be the warden's wife, mourning her untimely demise. These auditory phenomena add a layer of authenticity to the haunting tales, compelling listeners to question the boundaries between the seen and the unseen. The haunting of the Ohio State Reformatory transcends mere ghost stories. It is a somber reflection of the human capacity for cruelty and the enduring scars left by institutional negligence. Each spectral encounter not only enriches the lore of this ominous edifice but also serves as a stark reminder of the price paid by those who lived and died within its walls. As twilight descends upon Mansfield, casting long shadows across the reformatory, one cannot help but ponder the fates of the souls trapped within its haunted halls, yearning for peace in the afterlife. The phantom cells of West Virginia Penitentiary, a realm of restless spirits deep within the rugged hills of Moundsville, West Virginia, stands the imposing structure of the West Virginia Penitentiary, a fortress of despair that operated from 1876 to 1995. Known for its brutal conditions and high mortality rate, this penitentiary harbors a chilling legacy of violence and death that continues to haunt its decrepit halls. Within its thick stone walls, tales of spectral encounters and eerie phenomena weave a tapestry of fear that enthralls visitors and paranormal investigators alike. The West Virginia Penitentiary gained notoriety not only for its harsh penal practices but also for the sheer volume of deaths that occurred within its confines. Executions, murders, and suicides painted a macabre picture of life inside the penitentiary. The electric chair, grimly nicknamed Old Sparky, claimed the lives of 94 inmates, while others met their end through violent means or despair-induced self-harm. These tragic events have left an indelible mark on the facility, transforming it into a hotspot for paranormal activity. Visitors to the penitentiary often report a variety of unsettling experiences. The most common are sightings of apparitions roaming the cell blocks. These ghostly figures, often perceived wearing prison garb, move silently through the corridors, disappearing into the walls as if retracing their final days. The intense feeling of being watched is pervasive throughout the complex, with many claiming to feel unseen eyes tracking their every move. This sensation is particularly acute in the North Hall, where the atmosphere grows heavier and the temperature inexplicably drops, signaling the presence of something otherworldly. One of the most active areas is the shower room, infamous for its role in the 1986 riot. Here, the air is thick with moisture and the stench of fear still lingers. Tourists recount hearing phantom water running and seeing shadowy figures reflected in the rusted mirrors, reminiscent of the chaos and terror of that fateful day. The sounds of screams and hurried footsteps echo through the tiled space, transporting visitors back to a time of unrest and upheaval. Moreover, the solitary confinement cells, known as the Hole, are reputed to be the epicenter of paranormal disturbances. These tiny, windowless cells were used to isolate the most unruly inmates, subjecting them to extreme sensory deprivation. Today, those brave enough to enter these cells often emerge shaken, speaking of overwhelming feelings of claustrophobia and dread, even if they have never experienced such sensations before. Some report hearing muffled sobs or manic laughter emanating from within the cells, voices crying out from the void. Nighttime tours amplify the penitentiary's eerie ambience, with guided explorations revealing even more profound supernatural occurrences. Flashlights flicker unpredictably, and electronic devices malfunction without explanation, suggesting the interference of unseen forces. EVP recordings captured during these nocturnal excursions often contain chilling messages. Voices whisper cryptic warnings or call out names, their origins impossible to trace. One particularly disturbing recording features a voice pleading, "Get me out!" a haunting echo of the pleas made by those once trapped within the penitentiary's grim embrace. The haunting of West Virginia Penitentiary extends beyond mere ghost stories. It is a visceral reminder of the suffering endured by those who lived and died behind its impenetrable walls. Each spectral sighting and auditory anomaly adds depth to the narrative of a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs. As night envelopes Moundsville, casting long shadows across the penitentiary, the spirits of the past stir, restless and unresolved, beckoning the curious to unlock the mysteries of their eternal imprisonment. Documented encounters in America's most haunted prisons. The haunted prisons of America are not merely settings for folklore and legend. They are living theaters where the supernatural manifests in tangible ways. Across institutions like Eastern State Penitentiary, Alcatraz, Ohio State Reformatory, and West Virginia Penitentiary, countless witnesses have stepped forward with first-hand accounts of encounters that defy rational explanation. These stories, often corroborated by multiple sources, lend credibility to the notion that these penitentiaries harbor energies and entities that transcend the mortal realm. Below, we delve into some of the most compelling documented cases, offering a glimpse into the chilling experiences of those who dared to venture into these spectral domains. In Philadelphia's Eastern State Penitentiary, one of the most striking accounts comes from a paranormal investigator named Sarah Thompson, who spent several nights cataloging EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, recordings within the crumbling cell blocks. On her second evening, she claims to have heard the unmistakable sound of a man sobbing in the distance. Following the noise, she found herself in cell block 12, a section notorious for its history of inmate suicides. There, she saw the faint outline of a man hunched over in a corner, his face obscured by his hands. When Sarah approached, the apparition vanished, leaving behind a lingering chill that persisted for hours. Equally unnerving was the testimony of Greg Hawthorne, a tour guide, who witnessed a heavy iron door slammed shut repeatedly despite no wind or visible cause. Security footage later confirmed the event, capturing the door moving violently on its hinges while the corridor remained otherwise empty. Unveiling the common threads in haunted prisons. As we traverse the haunted landscapes of America's most notorious prisons, a fascinating tapestry of patterns begins to emerge, weaving together the disparate threads of supernatural occurrences across these penitentiaries. At first glance, the stories from Eastern State Penitentiary, Alcatraz, Ohio State Reformatory, and West Virginia Penitentiary may appear unique to their respective locales, shaped by individual histories and cultural nuances. Yet, upon closer inspection, commonalities arise that transcend geographical boundaries, revealing universal themes rooted in collective trauma, unresolved grief, and the enduring influence of historical injustices. One striking pattern is the prevalence of apparitions associated with marginalized groups, enslaved individuals, indigenous peoples, and victims of colonial brutality. From the spectral child at Great House Estate to the shadowy laborers haunting Dorjo Plantation, these ethereal figures serve as poignant reminders of lives cut short and voices silenced. Their persistent presence suggests a yearning for recognition, as if the spirits refuse to fade until their stories are acknowledged. This phenomenon reflects a broader psychological truth. Societies often suppress painful memories, yet those memories find expression through symbols and metaphors, manifesting as ghostly encounters that demand attention. Reflections on the enduring mystique of haunted places. The haunted prisons of America stand as timeless sentinels, guarding secrets that transcend the boundaries of logic and reason. From the shadowy corridors of Eastern State Penitentiary to the spectral depths of Alcatraz, these sites evoke a profound sense of awe, reminding us that the veil between the seen and unseen is thinner than we might imagine. Their allure lies not only in the spine-chilling tales they harbor but also in the deeper truths they reveal about human nature, memory, and the enduring scars of history. To walk among their ruins is to step into a realm where the past refuses to remain buried, where the spirits of those who came before linger as both witnesses and storytellers. What makes these haunted locations so compelling is their ability to bridge the gap between the tangible and the intangible. They challenge our perceptions, forcing us to confront the limitations of science and the vast unknowns that still elude explanation. The ghostly apparitions, disembodied voices, and inexplicable phenomena reported at these sites are not mere curiosities. They are fragments of a larger narrative, pieces of a puzzle that hint at the interconnectedness of all things. Whether interpreted through the lens of spirituality, psychology, or folklore, these encounters resonate because they tap into universal fears and desires: the fear of mortality, the longing for justice, and the hope that our stories will endure beyond our lifetimes. Your invitation to explore. As we draw the curtains on this chilling odyssey through the haunted prisons of America, we extend a heartfelt invitation to you, dear reader, to embark on your own journey into the unknown. The stories we've shared are but a glimpse into the vast tapestry of spectral wonders that await discovery. From the blood-soaked cells of Eastern State Penitentiary to the eerie isolation chambers of Alcatraz, each location holds its secrets, waiting patiently for the curious and the brave to uncover them. But remember, the true essence of these haunted sites isn't confined to the pages of this article. It comes alive when you step into their shadowy realms yourself. Your adventure doesn't have to end here. We urge you to delve deeper, to explore these haunted havens with an open mind and a willing spirit. Whether you're drawn to the spectral whispers of Ohio State Reformatory or the menacing echoes of West Virginia Penitentiary, each site offers a unique experience that transcends the ordinary. Visit them, feel their chilling embrace, and let their stories unfold before your very eyes. Capture your experiences, through words, images, or videos, and share them with the world. In doing so, you contribute to the ever-growing anthology of the supernatural, adding your voice to the chorus of those who have dared to peer beyond the veil. And don't stop there. America is a treasure trove of haunted tales, many of which remain untold. Venture off the beaten path, seek out lesser-known legends, and immerse yourself in the rich folklore of the nation. Engage with locals, listen to their stories, and uncover the hidden gems that lie just beneath the surface. Your discoveries could inspire others to embark on their own journeys, creating a ripple effect of curiosity and wonder. We also invite you to become part of our growing community of haunted enthusiasts. Subscribe to our channel, where we continue to unravel the mysteries of the supernatural world, one spine-tingling story at a time. Share your thoughts, insights, and personal encounters in the comments section below. Your contributions enrich the dialogue and connect us all in our shared fascination with the unknown. Together, let's keep the spirit of exploration alive, honoring the haunted places of America by keeping their stories vibrant and alive. So, take that first step. Let the whispers of the past guide you, and may your journey be as enlightening as it is thrilling. After all, the greatest adventures are those that challenge our perceptions and expand our horizons. The haunted prisons of America await. Will you answer their call?